This is step one of our Turk-torial or Turkey-torial. This is going to be the brining process. I've got a frozen turkey right here. This is about 17 pounds. Usually our family, we do like a 25 plus turkey. So you're going to need obviously the turkey. You're going to need a large pot to put it in. You're going to need some salt. You are going to need some fresh oranges, some garlic, some rosemary, thyme. We'll talk about this more in a moment. And sage, and then brown sugar, and then a little bit of wine. And we're going to throw it all together, and I will show you the process. So give me one moment. Okay, we're going to start with just some regular salt. You can use sea salt if you want. You're going to put a half a cup of sea salt in the pot. This sounds like a lot, but remember it's a big turkey. And this salt is going to brine into it and help make it juicy with all the other flavors you're throwing in. Most turkeys you buy are already brined, but it's a very simple salt brine. This is a more complicated version with lots of different spices. You want to do the same thing with a half a cup of brown sugar. If you have a bigger turkey, you can increase these a little bit if you need to. Next thing we're going to do is cut up an orange. And you can leave all of it together. You don't need to peel it. You don't need to squeeze it. You could just throw it all in. And again, a bigger turkey, you can double some of this, or at least 1.5 times. So there's an orange. Now out in the garden, I have thyme, rosemary, and sage. They sell packages of these at most grocery stores. They sometimes call it the poultry pack, where it comes with all three of these. Now normally, if I was going to be seasoning the turkey, I would take all of this stuff off the branches, off the little stems, because you don't want to have stems in what you're going to be eating. But for this, I'm just going to rough cut them because it's all going to go in the water, and this is eventually going to all get tossed. Now just throw us all in there. Now we're going to take some garlic and throw away the rotten one. And again, roughly cut. It doesn't have to be super fine. This will just release all the garlic oils into the water. Take your pot over to the sink, and what we're going to do is put a little bit of warm water in there, and that's going to help dissolve the salt and the sugar, because you never want to use warm water in a brine. It's always cold water. So we're going to start that. Okay, you don't need that much. Okay, now you're going to start to stir this all around. Until you don't see any of the salt or the brown sugar. Okay, now you can add your cup of wine. We don't drink wine much in this house, so I just bought a small bottle. I usually use white wine. You could use red if you like, if you have it around. Next step is we're going to take the turkey out of the package and plop it into the water. Okay, first thing I did is I washed the sink and made sure it was rinsed really well to make sure there's no soap residue. And then you're going to open the turkey up. You're thawing it slowly, and you're brining it. So carefully cut this open and pull this out. You can see most of this down here is already frozen brine water, which is fine. Now we're going to take this out for a moment and balance it, and then bring your pot back. Now you always want to put it breast side down. Oh, it's very cold. So you can see breast side down, the white meat is the part that dries out when you cook this. Dark meat's usually very juicy and there's a lot of fat down there, so it's fine. However, it's the breast meat that needs all the help. So you want to put that down and just start filling it up. Make sure the water is cold. That's about good enough. So right now you can see everything floating in there, which is fine. This stuff is sticking out, the back end of the bird. That could dry out if you're not careful. So I usually take some plastic wrap. And I wrap it around this, like so. This will work with a turkey that's not frozen too. You'll just have to deal with more turkey juices as it goes around. So this is going to, all that water that's been thrown in there with all those great ingredients are going to soak into the breast of the meat, and it'll keep it from drying out when we cook it. That's going to be the next step, is seasoning the turkey and getting it ready to go in the oven. And right now this is going to go in a refrigerator. We have a large refrigerator in the back that we're going to put it in. If you have a small refrigerator, you might have to take out a drawer or a level to get it in there. You could do a much smaller bird and do it in a smaller pot. We just have these big pots and we have plenty of room out there, so it's not a big deal. So this is going to be sitting there for at least 2 days. Okay, it's refrigerated, it's frozen. 2 days is no big deal. Even 3 is fine, but you don't want to do it for less than a day. If it's frozen, you need at least 2 days. If it's a big bird, 3 days might be better. So check on it, but make sure it stays frozen. Now I might go in and add another orange to this. I might even dice some apples and throw it in there. But for right now, this is more than enough. You can actually smell the aroma of all those great seasonings that we put in there. This is not to season the bird. That's a whole other thing, and I'll show you how to do a rub later on. Good luck.